Welcome to the Kids Kingdom. Please like, share and subscribe the channel. Press the bell icon.
Alize was a 12-year-old girl with a heart full of love for nature. She lived near a thick forest, and almost every day, she would walk to its edge, listening to the songs of birds and feeling the soft breeze through the tall trees. She was not like most children her age, who preferred playing games on phones or watching television. Instead, Alize found her joy in the flutter of wings, the rustle of leaves, and the calm voice of nature. Her favorite pastime was to sit quietly on a rock near the tall trees, watching birds hopping from branch to branch. Sometimes she brought crumbs of bread or grains from her kitchen to feed them. Over time, the birds began to recognize her. When Alize appeared at the forest's edge, they would start chirping loudly, as if welcoming their little friend. Alize would laugh, clap her hands gently, and talk to them as if they were human. Among all the birds, one peacock became her closest friend. His feathers shone in shades of green, blue, and gold, and when he spread them, the forest seemed brighter. The peacock's mother also trusted Alize and often sat nearby while her son played with the girl. Alize named the younger peacock Noor, because his feathers glittered like light. Noor would follow Alize whenever she walked deeper into the woods, and sometimes he even danced just to make her smile. For Alize, the forest was not just a place, it was her second home, full of friends who could not speak but understood her feelings better than most people. But one day, something happened that broke her heart. A group of men came into the forest carrying axes and saws. Without hesitation, they started cutting down the trees. The sound of chopping echoed through the air, and the frightened cries of birds filled the sky. Alize rushed to them, her voice trembling yet firm. "Please don't cut these trees," she said. "This is the home of so many birds and animals. Without trees, they will have no place to live." But the men only laughed. One of them said, "Little girl, go home. This is none of your business." Her eyes filled with tears, but she refused to leave. The next day, she returned again, standing in front of them with determination. This time she spoke louder. "Trees give us oxygen, shade, and beauty. Cutting them will destroy the balance of life. Please, stop this." The men grew angry. "We have work to do. If you make trouble again, we will punish you," one of them threatened. But Alize stood her ground. The birds flew restlessly above, watching helplessly as their homes fell to the ground. Noor, the peacock, cried out loudly, his feathers trembling with fear. When Alize argued again, one of the men pushed her hard. She fell to the ground, her head striking a stone. Dizzy and weak, she tried to walk back home, but the pain was too much. On the edge of the forest, her legs gave way, and she collapsed. Noor had been watching everything. He ran to the nearby stream, dipped his beak in water, and hurried back to Alize, sprinkling drops over her face. But she did not wake up. Panicked, Noor rushed towards her house, quaking loudly. Alize's mother, who knew the peacock often stayed with her daughter, sensed something was wrong. She followed Noor into the forest and found her daughter lying unconscious. With trembling hands, she lifted Alize and rushed her to the doctor. Alize was admitted to the hospital. For days, she could not return to the forest. Her absence made the forest unusually quiet. The birds no longer sang happily, the animals hid in sadness. They knew their friend was hurt while trying to protect them. Something unusual then happened. The animals and birds seemed to make a silent agreement. When the men returned with their axes, the forest creatures gathered. The birds flew in swarms, pecking and flapping at the men's heads. Squirrels dropped nuts from the trees. Monkeys threw sticks and leaves. Noor, with his mother, spread their wings and charged forward fearlessly. Even the deer and rabbits ran together, creating confusion. Startled and hurt, the men screamed and ran out of the forest. The next day, when they dared to return, the same thing happened. This time the attack was even fiercer, and the men finally gave up. "This forest is cursed," they muttered, running away for good. Slowly, the forest began to heal. The remaining trees stood proudly, while new saplings sprouted from the earth. The birds rebuilt their nests, and their cheerful songs returned. When Alize finally recovered and visited the forest again, she was amazed. It was as though the forest had been waiting for her. Birds filled the air with happy chirps. Nor ran to her, spreading his feathers wide in celebration. The animals peeked from behind the trees as if welcoming back their little guardian. Tears of joy filled Alize's eyes. She sat on her favorite rock, surrounded by her feathered and furry friends. "I will always protect you," she whispered. And from that day, the bond between Alize and the forest grew even stronger. The forest had defended itself when she could not, and together they promised to keep their world alive and full of life.